Hey gang, do you like annoying theme songs? Well, here you go.
He got into vintage audio a year ago, but there's a lot of things he still doesn't know, so he started up a channel on YouTube, and here he is now, the Vintage Newbie. Ba, ba, ba.
Hey gang, the writer/actor strike is over, so that means we were finally able to get back into the studio and make more episodes of the Vintage Newbie. Ba ba ba. Today, we're going to change it up a little bit. Normally we talk about stereo components, receivers, tape decks, 8-track players, turntables, and so on. Reel-to-reels. But today I'm going to be discussing a piece of gear that actually brings the sound from those things, pumps them out into the air all around us, and into your shitty little eardrums. That's right, speakers. Specifically, the JBL S-26ii speaker. These are bookshelf speakers. I don't really know the specs on them because I don't know what any of that means, but I can read them to you if you're interested. And if you're not, tough titties. Let's see. Got this information from crutchfield.com if you want to follow along at home. So, they're video shielded. That means you can place them next to your 19-inch TV and the magnets won't jack up the screen and give that weird rainbow effect. Did I mention that these speakers are kind of old? I think from around 2002 or so. So they're about 20, 21 years old, which means they're old enough to drink. Yeah, so there were still CRT TVs around back then. And if you still have one now, because you're into vintage electronics, but I don't have one of those TVs, then you can still use this. Isn't that great? They have bass reflex. They have a frequency response of 40 to 20,000 hertz. You know what that means? Neither do I. Nobody does. And they never will. Sad speaker. They're 8-ohm speakers, so that's good. Because 6 and 4-ohm speakers suck. Because I had 2 pair of 6-ohm speakers hooked up to a Technics receiver, which you don't see it here because running them both at the same time blew the receiver. It needed the money. Oh! And yeah, kind of fried it because I didn't know what I was doing. So they should make speakers 8 ohms and above for dum-dums like me. And these are 8-ohm speakers. It can handle up to 150 watts, which is cool because they're plugged into 45 watt per channel receiver. So I think that's, I know it's not double that. I don't know. Whatever the wattage is on a realistic STA90. It's got a black maple vinyl finish. So is that fake wood with a real wood laminate? Maybe? Veneer? They're pretty darn heavy though. I'll tell you that much, boys and girls. They weigh in at, I don't know, they're between like 25, 30 pounds. I believe the actual weight is 27.2561108 3/8 512. No. 513. Sorry. Here's where it gets a little tricky for the old eyeballs. Are 9 and 9/16 inches wide. You couldn't just say 9.5 because you got to get particular. 17 inches tall. And 10 and 5/16 inches deep. Yeah. Just like your mom likes it. And it originally came with a 5-year warranty. So that doesn't apply anymore. They are 87 decibels, so I guess low on the efficiency rating, but they sound good. I think average is like, 90 to 92. But they sound nice. They crank. They kick ace. I got them on I found them on Facebook Marketplace. A young man was selling them along with a center speaker. So I guess that with the video shielding leads me to think that these might have been home theater speakers. I don't know. Might come as a surprise to you, but I don't really know much about speakers. Really, from the way that I expertly rattled off those statistics earlier and knew what I was talking about. Yeah, it's true. But I know there were JBLs, and that name carries a good bit of weight. About 27.2568 pounds of weight. But I do know that older JBLs usually go for hundreds, if not millions of dollars. So to see a pair of bookshelves at $70, I was like, sure, I'll give him a listen. So I met up with the fella, and he plugged them into his truck stereo, and they cranked. They kicked all sorts of ass. So I was really happy. I was like, I'll take them. I didn't really have much use for the center speaker because with 2-channel vintage audio, you don't really have a center speaker option. I did have my old black Optimus STAV 3280 receiver from around this same time, and it did have a center speaker jack, so I tried plugging it into that. But wouldn't you know, you couldn't access that without the remote. And lucky me, I didn't have the remote. So I couldn't really plug it into that. So I had nothing to do with this thing. And was like, all right, well, maybe I'll keep my eye out for another center speaker. Check on the old eBay every now and then. The ones that were coming up were like, I don't know, $100, $150. And I was like, geez. But I guess if it's, give me another pair of JBLs, so that might be cool. But then I was asking around online, and folks were saying, well, center speakers don't really have the weight sonically of your right and left speakers. They're more to just kind of fill in the gaps that might be missing from your right and left channels. And I plugged it in one time, hooked it up to just like the right or left channel of a receiver, and sure enough, it did sound kind of flat. So I did not want to be spending $100 to $150 for a pair of flat sounding speakers. So I did what every good capitalist would do, and I put it up for sale. Now, like I said, I saw them going for at least $100 on the eBay. So I didn't really have any use for that thing, so I sold it for like $30-$40, something like that. And someone bought it, and they liked it. And so then technically, I only paid about $30 for a pair of JBL bookshelf speakers. Not too shabby. And yeah, they're not as good as the Jubals or whatever L blah blah blah. La Scalas, are those also JBLs? I don't know. But I know there's like an L540, 560, 561. But people lose their shit over JBL speakers, and these aren't those big, super vintagey ones, but they sound pretty nice, and they look pretty cool, and they fit on top of my Advent Laureates. So I like them. All right, well, enough about that. Let's pop off the old grills and see what they look like. Okay? King of special effects here. This is the front of the JBL S-26ii bookshelf speaker. See? Logo. Studio. I don't really know what studio monitors are, but I know that this is one of them. And they've got just the little peggy things that pop into the holy things. And there is the 1-inch titanium dome tweeters, along with an EOS waveguide that produce a crisp, detailed high, while the 6-inch polyplas woofer dishes out accurate mid-range and surprisingly deep bass. Now, voice matched to other studio models, these gems work great as main or surround speakers for home theater, or use them for exceptional stereo surround in a bookshelf application. That was straight from the Crutchfield website. And look, they're ported too, so get a little extra bassier sound from them. Nice rubber surrounds, and they bounce and they move when the music's going ga-don don 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 boom 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 boom. Can't play any music because copyright, but there you go. That's what they look like. Now let's hop on back to the other side of the camera. Okay? I said K? Okay. Well, that concludes it for another thrilling episode. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and smash that like, share, and subscribe button. Or don't. Because I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. It's numbers. Pfft, whatever. You're going to live your life by those numbers, man. Not me. Too cool for that. Oh, who am I kidding? I want the numbers to be up, to be popular and cool and pretty and put my kids through college. Not really. I only have one kid, and I don't know if she'll ever go to college. Maybe she'll marry rich. No, I don't even know anyone named Rich. Well, thanks for sticking it through to the bitter end. And I'll catch you next time. Right here on Vital Vintage Newbie.